And there are a few elements that are missing. It's the system that I think is what really moves the needle. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start from the top down, and you're going to pick one, just one. There are some mile markers. This is where we're now getting down into systems. I'm just like so into it, and I think this is such a good system that I just feel like everyone should know about this, because everyone can set goals, but not everyone keeps the focus. I want you to go ahead, get a piece of paper, take notes along with this, because there's a lot under this flip chart. Hey everybody, I'm Alexis. So in this video, I want to talk about how to set systems and not goals, and talk about my specific system that I've used that has really changed my life. Like in the last month, as you can see, I guess you guys are about a week behind from what my progress is, but videos have been coming out very regularly, and it's been for about the last month that I've had this system in place, so I really owe it all to that. So before I get into the system, I want to talk about what the issue is with goals. I do want to give a caveat. I'm a very goal-oriented person, so this is not just to sit here and bash on goals, but they do have their limitations, and I will say that when you just have a goal, it is very incomplete. So I'm going to talk about, like, if you're just going to use goals, how incomplete they are for just a moment. All the millennials heard about SMART goals, I'm sure, we're just beat to death with the whole acronym of SMART goals. So, as people have taught us, goals need to be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. I would say this is true, but just because you have all these things in place does not mean you're gonna achieve the goal. And you might have all these things in place, you feel like you're good to go, and then you still don't achieve it, and then you end up feeling shame at the end of the day. And there are a few elements that are missing, namely, celebrating your success is missing. Another thing, that this time-boundness only is helpful for certain goals. There are certain goals that you can put a lot of action toward, but to some extent, you cannot know what time it is going to be. And you have to be a pretty good goal setter and a very good judge of time for this time-bound part to actually work. Now, the main issue with goals is most people do not create a plan slash system slash habits to get them done. So I'm not gonna say that goals are bad, and when you do create a goal, it should be smart, and I do think it should have all these things, but you should not just set a goal, because it's not going to be enough to really move the needle. I want you to go ahead, get a piece of paper, take notes along with this, because there's a lot under this flip chart. There's a lot about to come. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, let's get into it. This right here is like the mountain of the goal. So at the top, you know, the goal is getting to the top of the mountain. So that right there, this right here is your SMART goal. Now there is one element that is even bigger than that I actually think is really needed. I think even above that, just kind of up in the clouds, even above the peak of the mountain, it's important to have your life dreams mapped out. So I might put them in a cloud up here. At the very small, the minutia level, are your habits. That's the boring part, just the step after step after step to get up this mountain. And when you string all of those habits together, when you have a group of habits strung together, you add up some of these habits, that is when you have a system. And I believe that with all of these elements taken together, you can get up the mountain. Now there are some problems if you only have one. Maybe I'll call this the levels of glamour. Like, it's more glamorous as you get to the top. Dreams are the most fun. Dreams at the top, anyone can sit there and dream. If you have dreams isolated, without habits, without the system, without any goals, you're just not gonna get there. You're sleeping, you have dreams. If you were to take some of these out and you only had habits, those habits might not be good. Those habits might not be getting you in the direction that you wanna go. Like, you might have the habit of smoking cigarettes. So these four components, all taken together, are really what you need. And specifically what I think most people do not have. I think most people dream, most people set goals, everyone has habits. It's the system that I think is what really moves the needle. So you take all these four, put them together, particularly the system component, that is when you're really set up for success. Bring a tear there. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start from the top down. We're gonna work on these together, because everyone's got their strengths. You probably have one of these four areas honed, whether it's dreams or goals, probably not systems, and habits. I want to take a second, put on some nice music, maybe get a coffee, take some notes on this. We're gonna start up at the life dreams portion. This is the part where you do not have to be realistic. There's nothing smart about this. This is the part where you just let your mind run free. No idea is a bad idea. If your gut brings it up, or your head or your heart or wherever brings it up, go ahead and do it. And this I'm getting from the Start Today journal by Rachel Hollis. I think it's a good activity. I also will get into the core desired feeling themes in a moment as well. So just go ahead and put on some music. Go ahead, just let this picture flow however makes sense to you. Just jot down anything that comes to mind. I want you to visualize yourself in your ideal life years from now. Dream big, don't put any restriction on it. Don't overthink it, just allow yourself to envision the most magnificent possible future version of yourself. What is the very best version of yourself doing? What do you look like? How do you go about your day? How do you speak to the people you love? How are you loved in return? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of car do you drive? Are you a great cook? Do you love to read? Do you love to run? Get as specific as you possibly can. Where do you go on vacation? What's your favorite restaurant to eat at now that your life is different? What kind of food do you consume? What does it feel like to go throughout your day? Are you optimistic? Are you encouraging? After a decade of working on yourself and growing as a person, how much joy is there in your life? Who's in your life? What's your week like? How do you treat people? How do they treat you? Let your dreams run absolutely wild during this part. This is not the part to shrink yourself. In this future, are you happy, energetic, driven? Do you feel ambitious? What's your relationship like with your family members? Do you own a home, and what does it look like? Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Are you married? What's the best of the best? Now go even bigger than that. Think bigger than you have been thinking. What's even bigger than that? What do you do for work? What's the best version of you living every day in the best state that you know how to be? What's the highest value that your future self holds? Do you value family, loyalty, growth? Be as specific as you can be. See it as a movie in your mind. Without a second of judgment or overthinking it, write down everything that you thought of as fast as you can. Don't forget any of it. That future version of you needs to be seared inside your brain. So that is kind of the first thing in this life dreams. You might want to pause this, go back over those questions, really get peaceful and really picture, not for other people, but for you, what do you want your life to look like? And then I will also link these core desired feelings. This is a list of hundreds of feeling words sorted into categories. And what I really like about this particular list is that it's not just words like happy or joyful, but there are some really cool words like mermaid, lioness-hearted, caliente, high voltage, easy like Sunday morning, yellow, just some very interesting words that you don't normally think of, and some of them might really resonate with you. And then there are some of the normal ones like caring or celebrated. And so go through and maybe think about which of these, I would go through this list, maybe print it out and highlight which of these are the most important to you. And then think about what actions in your life would make that happen. Like if peace is a very strong, valuable emotion to you, write down in your life dreams what sorts of actions, because I think actions can cause emotions, what sort of actions or surroundings in your life would cause you to feel peace? What sort of systems in your life can you set up so that you would have peace and joy? For you, not just, the stereotypical person, but what brings you peace specifically? So really take some time, really just write it out. This is the fuzzy part. This is the head in the clouds, the life dreams, the best version of you, as big as you possibly can think. Do you want to be president? That's what I'm talking, big dreams. And then write down, maybe just on the side here, look at your vision of who you want to be and write down all the things that would be true if that was your reality. If this dream was your reality, like her example is, she would be an exceptional wife. She would be a New York Times selling author. She would maybe live in California, whatever it would take to make this dream happen. What things would be true? You could write down, I'm a peaceful person. And just tons, 20, write down tons of things that would be true. To make this life happen, what things would be true? And then from there, you pick down the 10 most necessary ones and you write them down. The 10 big dreams that you want to make happen in your life. And these are big dreams. So say you've written down 10 things that you want to make happen. And I want you to write these down in the past tense because according to this, your subconscious mind just sees, when you say I am going to be a New York Times bestselling author, your brain just sees it as a to-do item and then doesn't actually believe it. So you're going to write it down as if it has already happened. So you'd write, I am a best-selling author. So you're going to write down 10 of these. And you're going to pick one, just one. In the book, The One Thing, you have to pick one thing to focus on. You have 10 goals, that is way too much to focus on all at once. You are not going to work on all of these right now. You're just gonna pick one because otherwise you get annoyed with your progress if you pick too many. So just pick one. Which one do you need to happen first? So maybe let's say I had made my list and this is the one thing that I am pursuing right now. This is the thing. Becoming a best-selling author, let's say. For me personally, the one thing I am pursuing right now is having 100,000 YouTube subscribers. For the sake of, there's more behind where I would like it to go. But this is the one thing I'm focusing on right now. It's the first thing that I'm focusing on. So it's the one thing that I'm making happen right now. Now here's the deal. For most people, when they make their goals, like if I have a goal, I want to have 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I have no idea how long that will take. I can estimate maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long it'll take. I have absolutely no idea. I have like 800 subscribers right now. I have no idea. So I think that's sometimes the issue with SMART goals. When you have that T for time bound, people can only realistically estimate to a certain extent. So when I make goals, I'm now getting down to the goal level. I am starting a quarter out. Quarter of the year, 3 months out. Do not make goals. I mean, I have these big dreams. I have dreams beyond a quarter out, but I'm not making goals beyond a quarter out because I want to make sure they can be realistic. And the closer you bring your goals to home, only a month away, only 3 months away, the more realistic you can be. So I'd say a quarter is about all you can do. It's big enough so that you're like, wow, that'd be a lot of progress. But it's small enough so that you can actually get an accurate gauge for how long it will take and you can be realistic with yourself. For me personally, the goal that I set at the end of quarter one, so I set a three month goal, and I'll go over this more in a second, but this is the priority planner, Start Today. This is only a quarter. This entire book is 3 months. So I've dedicated this entire planner to this one goal. This book, the entire purpose of this book is that one goal. And my goal for the end of this quarter is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Now my big dream is 100,000, but for this quarter, I want to get 1,000 subscribers. So this is what I would call a mile marker. To an extent, some of this is beyond my control, but there are lots of things about it that I can control, and the closer we get in to the day-to-day, the more I can control it. So as the months go by, so we'll have month 3, month 2, month 1, there are some mile markers. If we're running a 3-mile race, there's some mile markers I will need to hit. So by the end of month 3, I want to be at 1,000 subscribers. By the end of month 2, I would want to be at 900. By the end of month 1, I will be at 800, which I have already hit actually, so this is exciting. So these are the mile markers. Now the issue with these is that to an extent they are beyond your control. And if you listen to Stoic philosophy, you need to focus on the things that you can control more than the things that are beyond your control. So these mile markers, 800, 900, 1,000 subscribers, these are just mile markers. They're just benchmarks. They are not necessarily up to me, and this is not a system yet. We're still kind of in dream goal land, but we are not even down to the minutia of habits strung together to be a system. I think this planner is very helpful because this right here is basically allowing my system to run on autopilot. I've built this habit that I use this every day, and with that combined over time, that strung together over days and weeks and months adds up to a quarter. I now have kind of a system in place. And one thing I really like about this is at the beginning of every week, so I'll get down to the weekly level. This is where we're now getting down into systems. Once I get down to the weekly level, so what they call it in this planner is 5 to Strive. So it says, navigate the best time during your week to focus on your inches and miles. Plan out a minimum of 5 hours this week that you're going to dedicate to achieving this month's mile. So we have a mile, a mile, and a mile. And this is kind of the inches we're building up, taking what I do every week. And so you plan out 5 hours. At the beginning of my week, this is my planning system. I plan out what are 5 hours I'm going to dedicate, and I pick the time. For me, part of my system now has been every day at 6 a.m. I'm at a coffee shop and I'm working at it. For an hour every morning, that's 5 hours that week. So I've dedicated 5 hours to YouTube that week. So weekly, at the beginning of my week, I pick 5 hours I'm gonna do. And I also set at the beginning of the week that week's weekly morning routine. I make myself stick to a morning routine for a week, and then after a week, if I don't like it, I switch it up and I can do a new one that week. So next week, if I'm not wanting to spend my 1 hour a day at a coffee shop at 6 a.m. in the morning, I have the ability to change it, but I just want to keep that commitment to myself for a week. And also at the beginning of the week, I set out my results list. In that planner, it has you set out what are 3 results you would like to see at the end of this week. So if you did everything correctly, it's not a to-do list, but it's like what result would you like to see? So I selected, I want to have 3 videos posted. So all of a sudden it aligns my priorities. If one of the results I want to see, 2 videos posted, then that needs to show up in my 5 hours when I'm picking 5 hours. Then from there, getting down even further, so now we're just down to daily habits. So once you get down to the daily level, so in my planner, when I open up to a daily page, it already has some of my 5 hours set up, because when I weekly planned, I picked 5 hours I wanted to do things. So that is already set up. And it also has you pick your top 3. At the end of today, what are the top 3 results you would like at the end of today? So I have my weekly top results, and I have my daily top 3 results. I should just show you a page of what this looks like. So on the monthly spread of this planner, it has you write down your one goal again. Okay, I want to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this planner. And then it has you write down your mile markers. This is what is this month's mile marker? So it might be 700, 800, 900 subscribers. And then you pick like a power word for the month. So that's kind of the monthly spread, which is nice. Then it has weekly. So you pick your favorite moment from the week. What results did you produce? What didn't happen? What got in my way? How did your morning routine go? And then weekly. So on the weekly spread, you have kind of like your big deals for the week. And then you have your morning routine. And then you have what weekly results you would like to hit. And then where are 5 hours this week that you can plan to work on that. And then you pick a song for the week. So this right here, this like is my system. I don't have to do any thinking. I just look in here and this is my system. And when I do this every single day, when my habit is that I do this every day, it adds up. And so then daily, you write down the 3 results you would like to see. And then you plan out by the hour what you're doing that day. In addition to that, with the journal that goes with it, I sound like an advertisement, I know. I just really am into this. I am not into fill in the blank planners at all. That's not my thing. And it's not sponsored. Like I said, I only have like 800 subscribers. So no one is sponsoring this. I'm just like so into it. And I think this is such a good system that I just feel like everyone should know about this. And then in the journal that goes with it, you write down 5 things you're grateful for every morning. And then you write down those 10 big life dreams that you have. And then the one you're going after right now. So every morning it refocuses me. Because everyone can set goals, but not everyone keeps the focus. So every day, this right here brings me back to my dreams and the big 10 goals. And then this right here brings me down to the habit and the weekly level. So this is like my life in 10 years out. This is like today and this week and how I'm gonna get there. And it's really impactful. So like in the book Atomic Habits, I talk about pick one key habit that's really gonna move the needle. For me, this is the only habit I've implemented, and it basically has changed my life. It's changing my morning routine, it's changing when I do YouTube, it's changing when I read. It's basically just focusing me on what I want. And for different people, that's different things. But this has really focused me in a good way, this combo, these Start Today Planner and Journal by Rachel Hollis. I really recommend them. I got mine at Target. I think that might be the only place they're available. So this right here, this is kind of like the system. And so I've got my dreams, got my goal, got my weekly, monthly system that I have in place in the like weekly, monthly, quarterly system I have in place, and then I have my daily habits. Now think about these mile markers, these milestones, like in my case that's 800, 900, 1,000 subscribers, the quarterly goal and the monthly milestones. To some extent, those are out of my control and they're not direct actions, like I'm not buying a subscriber, if that makes sense. There's not direct, I do this, boom, output. So to some extent, the further out they get, the more beyond your control it is. So instead of focusing on things so far out beyond your control, it's important to plan your days into habits which string together into a system over the weeks that you really have lots of control of. You have 100% control over how you spend your time. If you gave that over to a boss, then you gave that over to a boss, but you controlled that the boss is now controlling your time. Shorten that game. Don't have goals that go out so long. I mean, it's great, have the dreams, have the goals. But when you actually make SMART goals and you actually attach numbers and time to them, make sure it's a short time frame so you can actually get those wins. And one thing that's important that I really like about these is they hone you in. I could focus on how I'm working out, how I'm eating, how my relationships are going, all these things. There are lots of goals I have running at any given time. But this focuses me on what is the one important goal to me right now. And to me right now, the one important goal to me is YouTube. So you have to know what not to pay attention to. So when I'm at the quarter and monthly level, I'm focusing on one goal. My one goal by the end of the quarter is 1,000 subscribers. My one goal by the end of the month is 100 more subscribers. That's it. At the weekly level, she has you pick 3 results you want to see by the end of the week. Not 10, there are lots of results you'll produce by the end of the week. What are the 3 most important results you want by the end of the week? And where are 5 hours you can do that? You have to spend 40 hours a week on this goal, or just 5. You spend 20% of your time makes the biggest difference in gains. So what can I do with 20% of my time that'll really make the biggest difference? So only the 3 results and just the 5 hours. And at the day, same thing. Top 3 results list. What are 3 results I want by the end of today? And if I accomplish those 3, it's been a successful day. That's so much easier. If you just shrink the level of your goals and how many goals you have at any given time, it's really easy to feel successful. Because you said, okay, I don't have to do 20 things. I don't have to take out the trash and do the dishes and call my family and get coffee and talk to Garrett and do YouTube and post on social media and you don't have to do all those things. All you have to do is pick what are 3 things today. If I do today, I'm successful. Then you are. And it's really good because then in these books, it has you celebrate your wins. And so it keeps that momentum going. You keep focusing on the dream and you celebrate the little successes that you've had over the last few days. And it's really powerful. What this does is this provides a buffer for your emotions. So much of goals are based on your emotions and how motivated you are and how much energy you feel and do you feel like in the mood to do this. And what this does is it creates a buffer for that. Sometimes if you just have a dream, when it doesn't get accomplished, it feels very crushing, and then you're less likely to do another one in the future. So what this does is protects your energy so that you actually achieve your goals and you don't feel shame for not achieving them. You just say to yourself, did I achieve my habit today? Yes, I did. Then I'm doing great and I'm a step closer. What this does, this just allows me to run on autopilot. Seriously, I do these have been great. I think these are phenomenal. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that likes to fill in the blank planners, but they have been so helpful. And I just feel so energized. I feel so energized. I feel like I'm accomplishing my goals. I have a video about how I've sequenced my day so that I'm planning the right things at the right time of day. So I just feel like I have built a system that can house all of my habits. Like, I mean, this really has just done it all for me. I'm using this system. It tells me what habits to do. It focuses me on my long-term goals, and it has just been so beneficial. I feel like I'm enjoying the things I'm doing. I've sequenced them at the correct time of day. I just did a video about what to plan at what time of day, and I just feel like I'm doing such a great job, and I feel really proud of myself. It's been a while since I've been like so jazzed about getting stuff done and doing work. I feel so productive, and that gives me a lot of joy in my life. It's so important to set up a system of dreams, goals, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily things. So when you set up a dream, a goal, a system, and daily habits, I feel like it's so powerful. Yeah, so let me know what system you have for achieving your goals. So I will have some of the things mentioned linked down in the description, or the links to these planners. I will have those there. The emotions list will be in the description. And then also if you're interested in doing coaching with me, I've done personality coaching, I've done time management coaching, project management coaching, I've done some financial coaching. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and hit me up. That's in the link in the description as well. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye.